The Red Sox can't mess around. They haven't been a great team. They have a chance to be a good team this year. I don't want to look back at April and be like, damn, we could have won an extra few games if we had Bregman at third base and Devers didn't look like he was ready at third and he wasn't, ever known for his glove there anyway. Rafael Devers yesterday to the media, quote, "We spoke already and I'm good to do whatever they want me to do," talking about the Red Sox. "I'm here to help. I've already spoken with them about that and they know where I stand, but I'm just ready to play." The saga continues. It sounded like he was a little bit affected by the entire situation. And obviously, I'm sure there's some Boston radio stations that were all over his case for the last month. On what fans should expect, Evers said they can expect a better year than last year from me. They can expect a lot from this team overall. I think the fans can expect us to compete for a World Series this year. I'll add this caveat too, AJ. Devers hasn't played yet. He's supposed to make his debut this weekend. Also, Bregman hasn't played second base yet. So we haven't covered it in the last week and change since we've been at spring training games. But, I think he just confirmed what we're going to see at the start of the year, which is Alex Bregman at third and Rafael Devers at DH, which is probably best for his shoulder anyway.
Yeah, it just was handled poorly. I think man, Tad, can you imagine being the Reds' third baseman and then all of a sudden, without telling you and without being told and no one mentioning to you, they sign a guy, I'm trying to think of whoever that would be in your tenure for the Reds, and they're, without telling you, like, "Oh, by the way, Todd, you're now the second baseman, or you're the DH, or the first baseman, or you're the center fielder." Of course, a guy of Devers' stature is going to get a little bit upset, and I think he was kind of blindsided by it a little bit. And I think now that he's had time to think about it, he's changed his mind, and he's obviously said the right things. This guy wants to be a Red Sox. He signed a long-term deal to be a Red Sox. So, yeah, he's going to do whatever, because he wants to win. He's a Red Sox. He wants to win. He's got a long-term deal. He'll do whatever it takes. Listen, I predicted on here he'd be the opening day third baseman, but with these new comments and him not playing and Bregman only playing third base, Bregman's going to be the opening day third baseman, and Devers is going to be the opening day DH.
Yeah, and I think you hit it perfectly, kind of piggyback what you're saying, like cooler heads will prevail. This is something that I would be like, yo, what the heck's going on here, dude? I've been here for a couple of years now. You gave me this deal. I'm the third baseman. And then as time goes by, nobody's budging on the brass's side, on the coach's side. Oh, yeah, I'm all in for the team. Like, yeah, you got to bite your tongue and move on. It's not going to affect him. I don't think it's going to affect Devers at all. I just think now in the back of your mind, like, what am I, like bottom of the barrel here? I'm one of the best hitters in baseball, top 30 hitter in baseball. Like, dude, give me the respect I deserve. And, I think he handled it perfectly. I think he said all the right things. But, yeah, in the back of his mind, he's like, dude, I've been a third baseman for this long. And all of a sudden, another player comes along. Not saying he's not good enough. There's no way. Bregman's really good. He should be a third baseman. But I feel like Bregman would be better off at like a second base position. Rafael Devers doesn't have that foot speed going left to right when it comes to playing, other positions. So for me, I think he said the right things, but at the same time, I give credit to Devers for saying the right things. And now it's time to move on. Like, all right, good, man. They're not doing anything else. Go out and play. But know in the back of your mind, if I'm Rafael, yeah, you know what? You guys want me to do this here and there? I'm busy, those kind of things, That cat and mouse game, like, hey, man, do you mind coming to help out the team in these things? Well, no, this function I can't make. As petty as it sounds, AJ, you can understand fully. It's like, bro, you kind of screwed me here a little bit.
I just feel like he got blindsided by this. He didn't. I don't know that he knew. Now, I don't have knowledge of this, but I don't know that he knew. Like, they didn't call him. Here's my thing as a player. If I'm a catcher and I'm on a team and I'm the face of the franchise, which I never was, so I can't understand this from a Rafael Devers side point of view. But if I'm kind of the face of the franchise, and all of a sudden let's see, I'm trying to use somebody when I played. If they're like, oh, we went out and signed Pudge Rodriguez to take your spot, I'm like, wait, but I've done this. I've been an all-star. I've been the face of the franchise. I've done all these things, and you don't call me and tell me? That's why I think he was upset. And then he gets to camp, and without really having any idea about it, they just jump him, and they're like, hey, what do you think? Are you? And of course, like, I'm going to say I'm the catcher. I've been the catcher here for the last, 6-7 years? So, yeah, I'm the catcher. Until someone tells me I'm not, I'm going to say I'm the catcher. And I think that's where it got misconstrued. And listen, I give Rafi Devers a ton of credit in this. And I know people say, oh, well, you should just say this from the get-go. But as a professional baseball player that has the utmost confidence in your ability and my ability. I want to do what I've done for the last how many ever years. And again, they're paying me, and I thought to be the third baseman. So I'm going to say I'm the third baseman. Should he have said something different? Yes. Now he's talked about it with the Red Sox organization. He's talked about it with his people that he trusts, and he's changed his tune. And listen, there's one thing I've heard about Rafi Devers. He just wants to win. So he'll do whatever it takes to win. So I get both sides, but I also understand why Rafi was pissed at the beginning. Now he's moved on. He's going to do the best he can for the team. But let's not crush this kid for saying what every one of us would have said. Scott, think about in your job. You know, if you're here and all of a sudden we're like, hey, we're bringing in another
Alana
host,
Rizzo.
and without Alana Rizzo, without telling you, Scott, you're out. By the way, you're now on something else. You'd be like, no, I'm the FT host. Like, it's mine, right? And you're going to fight for it, and that's what Devers did.
Nah, I love Alana. I think she should take over. Wait, but for
can't
me,
argue after spending a week with her, Scott. I can't argue.
Thank you. Exactly. Just see if she can move to Orlando, and then she'll be your co-host every day. More in a minute, but first, a quick word from our sponsor of this video. FT fam, Arena Club is the modern way to collect cards or buy or sell or trade or even grade. And we're highlighting slab packs because this is the new way to rip open a pack and get a really good card, AJ. But also, if you're not into the card, like I know you pulled a Bob Gibson card recently, you can get an offer of 90% of the estimated value and just accept it on the spot and give it right back and maybe try again with another slab pack.
I ain't getting rid of my Bob Gibson autograph card. Bob Gibson ain't signing cards anytime soon, so I'm keeping this one. It gets graded for you. There's no mess. The only thing I wish they had bubble gum. Can they virtually send me some bubble gum, Scott? Other than that, it's awesome. You can buy, sell cards. They grade them instantly for you. And physically, you can also get the cards if you want them. So I'm all for this. This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, those cards are in your showroom in the app. And then, of course, you can get the card physically sent to you. So right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/FOUL. That's arenaclub.com/FOUL. Code FOUL for 20% off your first purchase. And now back to the video. I felt like behind the scenes, the shoulder helped to push this across. He hasn't played in a game yet. I get it. He's a vet. He's fine. I'm not worried about the bat. I am worried about the glove. He's led the league in errors at third base, I think, every year since 2018. He rates pretty poorly on the metrics as well. It's just a fact. That part alone is an issue. Now you add that the shoulder's not 100%, not close enough to get him on the field, at least yet, hopefully this weekend. I'm like, hey, dude, I think this is just best for your career, too, where we get you some DH time. Maybe you start to mix into third base as the season goes along. There's also definitely going to be injuries. There always are, and it might play out that way anyway. But at least to start the year, AJ, I just feel like the best lineup for them has Devers at DH and has Bregman at third base. And the Red Sox can't mess around. They haven't been a great team. They have a chance to be a good team this year. I don't want to look back at April and be like, damn, we could have won an extra few games if we had Bregman at third base and Devers didn't look like he was ready at third and he wasn't, ever known for his glove there anyway. So I feel like it actually might help him at the plate and just make him feel, more relaxed coming into the year because he's not 100%. So I think it's a winning move by the Red Sox, and that's why they were
I want to know what Todd has to think. I want to know what Todd thinks about this because he was a third baseman. Right? I mean, Todd was a third. I can't speak on what it's like. I mean, I could speak of what it was like being a DH and a catcher, but I never played third. So I want to know what Todd has to say because I want to know how he would feel if he was a little sore or beat up or whatever. And then he played in the National League, but they didn't have the DH then. But if he got to DH sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I like DHing maybe 5 times out of the year to give myself a break. I was a guy that always wanted to be out there. I don't know. I just felt like I wasn't into the game as much as a DH. And just in my mind, my mindset was if I'm DHing, I'm on the back end of my career. Like if that's where they wanted me to go, that's not a good sign. And that's just my thought process. So for me, and knowing Devers and knowing the way he plays, he wants to be out there. Screw DHing, man. Forget about that. That's in the last 2 or 3 years of your career if you could still mash. I want to be out there. I want to keep playing. I want to be in the game. I want to talk. I want to have chatter. I want to, talk around and be in all the plays. You're at third base. You got to be ready for every single play. It's the hot corner. You're the man over there. So, yeah, no, I want to play. And if I'm Devers, I want in. DH to me is something that, is like, man, they don't think I can play defense anymore. All right. I know I made all these errors, but I'm not that bad of a defender, am I? That's the thought process I would have.
For me, it's just on the winning side of things. What if I told you at the end of the year that the Red Sox missed the playoffs by 2 games and we felt like it would have changed if we had a top 5 third baseman defensively at the position versus a bottom 5?
No,
It's
because
real though. Why is that not okay?
That's
because you lose
speculation.
70 games. You lose 70 games anyways. God, how many times did you look back on a year and be like, man, if I would have got a hit with this guy, we missed. I mean, I was on a team that missed the playoffs more than once in the last day of the year. Okay. Yeah. And how many times I looked back and was like, man, if I would have got a hit or if I wouldn't have done this, but you know how many other guys? There's 24 other guys on the team that could say the same thing. So you can't just say like, oh man, if Bregman would have been playing second instead of Devers, we would have won 2 more games. No, like you can't say that because there's all these games you look back on and you remember the losses, for me at least, more than the wins. So you look back at the end of the year like, oh man, we lost in game 163 in the tiebreaker. If only I would have got a hit here. Well, guess what? There's when I was on the Rangers, we had Beltre, Andrews, Moreland, Kinsler. I guarantee you they all look back at the end of the year and you're like, man, if I just would have got a hit here or got a hit here or done this, we would have made the playoffs instead of having that. So you can't do that. And I thought Derek had a great point too, by the way. Devers is down 3 homers already because Cole's on the shelf for the
year. Yeah. When Cole got hurt, there were a lot of tweets. Yes, exactly.
And some intentional
walks. Yeah, intentional walks. That's true. For me, last part here, just to circle back, AJ, do you really think that there was 0 interaction until spring training? I'm just genuinely curious. I don't know the answer to this. Do you think they didn't even make a phone call? Does that face say it all? Or did you freeze?
I'm just saying. I don't think they did. I think I don't know. But okay. I don't know. The way it was handled, it seems like they didn't have communication. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just the way it was handled. It just seems like that.
Okay. Well, regardless, in my mind, they're in the best position to succeed, at least for now, to start the year with this defensive alignment. And I think that's what many in the front office are looking at. So we'll see how this plays out. Got to get them back on the field. And again, they were pushing their chips in. Bregman hasn't played 1 game at second base. I know he's real good, but if I'm switching positions, I don't care who you are, I'm putting him at second base all spring. So clearly they knew this was going on. All right. Anyway, if you have thoughts about this, you're catching it later on, drop some comments for us.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.